barely made it in time.
That's totally okay.
There we go.
I
Okay, should be
apologize.
going live in a second. Hold on. Let me see. Second. Hold on, y'all. Just wait on the tech end. Hold on 1 second. Live. There we go. Okay, we are going live. Okay.
Now?
All right, you guys should be live. Let me just watching. See. Oh, yep. Okay, it's going live. Yep. There you go. You can start.
All right, let's start.
Good evening. My name is Roxanne Johnson. My son, Jamal Bird, was murdered by DC Metropolitan Police October the 1st, 2019. I'm here with my co-host, LaToya.
Good evening, you guys. Again, we are Life After the Impact, Stories of Impacted Families. My name is LaToya Benton. I am the mother of Xavier D. Hill, who was killed by Virginia State Police on January the 9th, 2021 at the age of 18. We are a working podcast on continuing justice for our families. Tonight, we have on the line Sandra, I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes, it's just me.
Okay, do you want to go ahead and give a little background, just briefly, about who your loved one was?
His name was Shawn Joseph Billinger, and he was murdered January 16th of 2019 by Officer Zachary Helbig of the Fort Lupton Police Department here in Colorado.
Right. Roxanne, I think there's a clip as well. Do you have that?
This is, yeah. We're just showing some pictures of Sandra's son, Shawn Billinger.
It wasn't her son.
That
So I
was
just wanna
my
clarify that.
ex-husband. It was my son's father that was killed.
Oh, I'm sorry, your son's father. Okay,
You're okay. You're okay.
okay. And,
I'm fighting the good cause for my son's father. He didn't even know what my son was just turning 26 when this happened. He didn't even know. His dad just moved back to Fort Lupton when this happened, and the police were gang stalking him. So when that clip, when you see a clip, or if you watch that video of Shawn and the ex-girlfriend, the cop that talked said, "I know you," to Jackie, because he had previously talked to Shawn and Jackie before. He had run-ins with them.
let's show the short clip we have from the Fort Lupton incident. Yeah. Here we go. Maybe. I didn't want to show that. Hold on, y'all.
Well, through all this, we run into where our family members.
Go ahead, Sandra. We're finding the clip, so
You're fine. Where our family members just run into mental issues. Shawn's father had previously had just passed away like 3 weeks prior to this incident happening. So Shawn wasn't, to say, like, okay within himself. He wasn't okay. Him and this girl had just broke up. She lured him back with telling him that they were going to go get drugs. Then she changed her mind, and it ensued in a fight with those two. And that's what you see when the cop speaks with Jacqueline Simbeck, is she's talking about this fight that they're in because he, not her, he has a drug problem, which they both did.
So was he having a mental health crisis at the same time during this episode that
He was
happened?
having a mental health crisis. He wasn't even on drugs at that time when he was having the mental crisis. He wanted the
His dad had
drugs.
passed away before this had happened.
Yes.
Okay, here's the clip. Let's show the clip real quick.
And we begin with breaking news tonight. A Fort Lupton police officer will face a manslaughter charge for shooting and killing someone. A grand jury has indicted Officer Zachary Helbig. Helbig responded to a disturbance on 14th Street in January. According to the indictment, Officer Helbig shot and killed Shawn Billinger when Billinger came at him yelling, "Kill me," but that man did not have a weapon. And we begin.
So since this happened, Sandra, what have you and your family been experiencing, and what is the status of the fight for justice for your family?
Oh, gosh. We experienced where, okay, my youngest son, he's considered black here, but he has blonde hair and blue eyes, but they pick on him here. Since Shawn has been pulled over, since Shawn was murdered, my youngest has been pulled over so many times, he's lost his license. He's barely going to be 21. I worry about his safety. I worry about him continuously being pulled over and something detrimental happening, since we all know what happens when we get pulled over. The fight, I don't know, you know, they indicted him. He got off. He got acquitted. That killed me because
let's talk about
they
that a
didn't
little
even,
bit. How did just, I hate to interrupt you. When you say he got acquitted, what happened? Once he got indicted, they went to court. Then what happened exactly?
they talked about how that cop was in fear, even though Shawn was 13 feet away. The coroner said that if this guy had a meth problem, and I have the autopsy report. I've had the autopsy report since before we even went to court. So the coroner said, and it's even in the transcripts, that if this man was a supposed big-time meth user, as Jacqueline had said, that he has a issue with drugs like he did, then they would have found more in him. And the coroner said he was surprised that there was very minimal, that what he saw was from somebody basically coming down off of it, not somebody using. That's what he got from the autopsy. So when the indictment come in and this cop goes into court, that cop sat on that and used that to his benefit to get off. That's why he got off. They didn't sit there and focus on the crisis. Shawn did not have any weapons. Shawn was 13 feet away. This guy didn't go hand to hand. He didn't use any other way but just his gun. That's all he used. He talked about excuses of having something done with his eyes so he couldn't go to like combat or get his baton out and use that. There was so many excuses to why he couldn't do his job but just pull out that gun and shoot Shawn.
Mhm. Yeah, we're so
I'm
sorry.
not the only family member that has ever said the story. I know I'm not the only one.
Yeah, yeah. We've heard this story many times before, Sandra. Unfortunately, when people are needing medical attention, mental health attention, maybe in a mental
Mental
health
health crisis,
crisis,
yeah.
instead of
Mhm.
giving the mental health help that they need, they are either harmed, or actually their life is ended by the people who are sworn to protect them. What at this time, what actions are you currently taking, if any? Is your family involved in any actions at this time?
All I'm trying to do is get crisis response teams out here more than I am to have cops respond
Mm.
to anything that's a mental health crisis. Because right after Shawn, we had a gentleman named Smokey that was shot just a block from my house. I witnessed that one too. I tell you what, guys, I've seen some trauma. This gentleman right here needed some crisis intervention. Nobody helped him. We watched the cops shoot him a block from my house.
So are you guys currently
You know,
working with, is your family currently working with like any kind of services to get those things done in Shawn's name? Or have you considered doing something like that we can help you with in regards to that?
you guys can help me with anything that you think we can get involved down here in the northern part of Colorado. Because in northern Colorado, it's really hard to get that kind of stuff going. They don't believe that they're shutting down more mental health crisis stuff, and they're moving them towards the Denver area, and that scares me because we have it all over here. We have it all over Colorado. We have it a lot down south, but we have it a lot here too. And when I know within a 3-year span that I could witness two people being murdered by cops.
Mm.
That's too much. And that's not even the ones that I know on the outside in the world, all over around your sons, other sons, fathers, grandfathers, mothers. We're losing all kinds of people.
Mhm.
I watched on World News last week when they said 31 kills this year. Where are they getting their statistics and their numbers? Because I know we got more than 31 dead people out there from the
Absolutely.
cops.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. And
So where are they getting their numbers?
yeah,
Yeah.
they make up whatever they want
What
to
they
say
want. Yeah,
their
absolutely.
agenda.
Absolutely.
But Sandra, the reason that we Life After Impact, we want to get involved not only to tell the stories of what's going on with families, but to help to get justice. So in the case of Shawn, if there's anything that you all want to, we can help you to
Specifically do.
physically do. Please don't hesitate to call. If you have an action that you want the people who are listening, we have people listening to this or who will listen to this later.
About that, we make sure Zachary Helbig, with that cop that shot Shawn, is not working anywhere in the United States. We need to find out if he's working anywhere.
Is he
So
still
you
on?
want him to be certified?
He can't work in the state of Colorado. We labeled him a rude cop here. But that
But
doesn't mean he
is he
can't.
decertified, Sandra?
Pardon me?
Do you know he is actually decertified though?
No, I don't. I don't. But what I do know about this man is that he dreamt and slept and wanted to be a cop. That's what they said in court. His whole family's cops. What I took away from him, fighting to get him labeled that, was hard. It was hard. The district attorney didn't believe me. So when we went into court, of course, it was like Shawn's fault because he was high on meth. That's how they made it sound.
Yeah, but
this
the
cop
police-
didn't do his job.
right.
He didn't follow protocols, procedures, policies.
Mhm. And when police officers use aggression towards our loved ones, they don't know if they're high or if they're they don't know that when they encounter them. All they know is that their standard is to say that, they felt that their life was threatened. That's the standard that they use. But we are adamant about Sandra, about finding ways to fight back. We're not taking
And changing that, right?
taking that standard, I guess the FOP or whoever issued talking points. We're saying that no, we're not taking that life after impact. We're going to be grieving our loved ones. That's never going to change. But we're also going to be fighting for justice for our loved ones. And that's what this podcast is all about. So, if there's anything that we can help you with in Northern Colorado, we can put you in contact with some people who are doing things like reinvestigating and showing people, impacted families, how to reinvestigate and get their cases reopened or re-looked at by district attorneys. This is what part of this is all about.
And Roxanne,
That would be interesting.
When you also mentioned, Sandra, about, you said you wanted to get involved with the crisis team, was that right?
Yes, ma'am, because
So I think it
we
would be
need
interesting to
something.
find. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I was tasered after a surgery and
Oh my
basically died in 2010 from the police. My mom called for an ambulance, and instead they told me to come in my bedroom and change, and while I was changing, they decided that they wanted to taser me.
Oh my gosh.
Okay?
So sorry.
So, well, since then, I've been fighting the system down here. They basically did not want to listen to me until Shawn was murdered. And now they're kind of listening, but they're not listening enough to where we need a crisis intervention team. Yeah, a change, but it's not fast enough. It's not happening fast enough. And every day we lose somebody, it's still not happening fast enough. That's how I see it. It hurts me to sit and watch families suffer every day. And then when we go out and fight, you all know how hard it was to get people to hear our story and actually consider it. Consider it.
Care about you, yeah. And that alone itself is a mental impact on you.
And it does. It has a mental impact on you severely. It took me years that they did that to me. And it was 4 men. And I was only 4'11" and 120 pounds when 4 men come in here and beat the living hell out of me.
Are you continuing to be harassed by the local police at this time?
Yeah, I called the chief of police and let him know because a few months after what they did to me, my daughter was being bullied, and the cop that tasered me here in the house ended up at the school when I went to the school, and he beat me in front of all the kids at the school.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
So this was back in 2010 and 11,
Mhm.
and it was an officer Holleran, Kevin Holleran, who did it, and then went and got fired for lying from Fort Lupton and went on to be a lieutenant at Weld County Sheriff's Department, which he resides today.
Mhm.
And I live with this. I followed that
Mhm.
man. Excuse me. When somebody takes something of value, you need to make sure that they don't want to do it to other people. So I'm following Kevin just like I'm following Zachary Helbig. I couldn't get Kevin Holleran off, but I sure worked hard to get Zachary Helbig fired and labeled, just like he labeled us.
Right.
We were criminals. Well, guess what? I got him labeled. He should have never went out right after he got his job back and threatened to blow 2 kids' head off. But I told the district attorney he was going to do that. I said someone's kids were going to be next,
Mm. Mm.
and someone's kids were.
Yeah. Well, Sandra, we thank you for coming and sharing your story this evening and talking about your loved one, Shawn Billinger. Say his name, Shawn Billinger.
Shawn Billinger.
Billinger.
Billinger. Thank you.
Yes, and we stand with you.
Thank you, ladies.
You're voicing the concern of having mobile crises units to come out when people have mental health issues is very timely, because yes, that's what needs to be done, and it needs to be mental health professionals, not aggressive policing.
Police officers, yeah.
Yeah, to help people
Agree.
in a mental health crisis. So again, if there's something we can help you with out there in Fort Lumpton, please don't hesitate to call on us here at Life After the Impact. We are going to be broadcasting more. We will not run out of people to talk to, y'all. That's the unfortunate part. We will not
Yeah.
run out of people to talk
Yeah.
to. Let that sink in for a minute. We will not run out of people to talk to. We just heard about someone getting beat to death. Who got beat to death by Memphis police and died. His family is going to need help from those of us who've been through this struggle, who are continuing to.
Yeah, I know. I just seen that story tonight too.
And so
Tell you what, they all make me cry. They all
Yes.
make me cry like if it was Shawn,
Absolutely.
because they're all our family.
That's right.
Right.
If it happened to Shawn, it's happened
Anybody.
to each of my family. Each one is like my family member.
That's right.
That's how I feel the impact.
That's right.
So bless you all, and I pray we get what we need and the justice we need.
Mhm. I want to say real fast to you guys, anybody who is listening to this live stream right now, just to reiterate what Sam said, if you are in the area or you know someone who is in the Fort Lumpkin area, am I saying that right? And you can provide Sandra any kind of assistance as far as medical crisis team and prevention teams are concerned. Please, please, please share the knowledge. Part of this podcast, the purpose of this podcast is for us to begin to create avenues of outlets so that people are able to continue in their fight. As you guys have all heard, she said that she does currently have this in place. If you are listening right now and you have a resource you can share with Sandra, please reach out to us on Life After the Impact on Facebook. We'll respond back and get in contact with Sandra. But the whole point of the podcast is to take the needs of the people and fulfill the needs of the people. And Sandra is saying she needs help with this particular area. Let's be sure to support her. Sandra, we love you. We're here to support you.
Yes.
Thank you ladies so much. You have a great night.
You as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Goodbye.